Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondinauthor. I'm the author of Heal Yourself, A Return to Wholeness, the integration of body, mind, soul, and spirit. I'm also the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. All of my books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings, romance, twin flame, life path and purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. This is the Lightworker Divine Feminine reading for today. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2021. This is a reading that I have started to do every 2 weeks, roughly. And it's just an update to give all divine feminines and light workers out there what you need to be focusing on for your light work. If you've watched my readings before, you know that I always say a prayer over the cards. We're going to pick 4 cards today for the light work. And you can just pause and just be silent and say a blessing in your heart for the reading. Dear God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Mother Mary, archangels, angels of God, divine feminines, guardian angels, let this reading be the highest light and love of God the Father. Let it bring light, love, and truth to everyone involved. Archangel Michael, please stand guard, casting away any lower energies with your sword of light. Please help divine feminines and light workers understand what they need to do for their light work today and this week and the next 2 weeks. So we're going to pick from the Fairy Tarot card for divine feminines and light workers, which are usually in one, but I know you can be a light worker without necessarily being a twin flame. So this is for you too, if you're out there as a light worker. This is what you need to focus on this week in your light work. So let's just see what comes out here. We've got one. We're going to pick from Work Your Light Oracle deck. Now this one is a little tricky to work with. The cards are very thick. I say that every time, but every time I pick them up, which is not frequently, I'm like, oh gosh, these cards are so heavy and thick and it's very difficult to get a card, but I just got one. And the next one is the Love and Light Oracle deck. And we're going to see what do light workers need to know to learn and to grow and to expand upon their light work this week. What do they need to know? And then we're going to pick from the Mystical Wisdom. I really like this deck. I love the illustrator Josephine Hall, which is, oh gosh, I love the artwork of Josephine Hall. And the messages are really pretty and enlightening. So for light workers, what do they need to know? Perfect. We're going to start with the Fairy Tarot. We've got the Chariot card. I love the Chariot card. And it really does. It's a success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. I love this. So light workers, the Chariot card, which guess what? If you're a divine feminine, I also consider this to be a twin flame card. And what the Chariot says to me personally for light workers, this is you balancing your feminine and masculine energies. You're living in balance and you're moving forward, and you're moving forward successfully. The Chariot card is a card of success. The number 7 indicates life path, and so this means that you are successfully moving forward on your life path and that you need to be out in the spotlight. It means the hermit period, over, all over for you. And if this resonates with you, this is for you. It means that now take your light out into the world, move forward with it, celebrate it. Don't hide it anymore. Bring it out into the world with your unique gifts and your unique talents. I love this because this next card, which is the Work Your Light Oracle deck, it says boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? You know, I think that this is honestly one of the most important messages for light workers. Light workers who are so used to giving and spreading their light to others just by being awesome and by helping and serving others often have a difficult time setting boundaries And setting a boundary could be as simple as saying no. You're allowed to say no as a light worker. I know you want to help and you want to serve and you want to spread your light everywhere on earth. But it's okay to say no from time to time. It's okay to say no for self-work and self-worth and taking time for yourself to just replenish your energy. Yes, you're needed to move forward with your energy, but it's okay to say no, and it's okay to put up boundaries, because that is how you replenish your own energy stores, is by making sure that people who are not necessarily operating your best and highest good, because they might be taking too much of your time, energy, effort, money, resources, whatever it is. By putting up boundaries and healthy boundaries, you're going to be able to serve others better, because you will not be so depleted. It's when we come from a place of depletion in ourselves and we're so exhausted and tired and we feel like we have nothing left to give, but we give anyway. That's when we get ourselves into a lot of trouble. So it's okay to set up boundaries. You're still going to spread your light, but you're going to spread your light intelligently. I like it. And this says originality. This is from the Mystical Wisdom. It says, blaze your own trail. Blaze your own trail, light worker. Now, I really feel like this goes hand in hand with that Chariot card. I feel like it goes hand in hand, because what are you doing with a chariot? You're moving forward. You're blazing the trail. And originality is saying blaze your own, make it your own. I know that as a light worker, if you're watching other divine feminines, if you're watching other light workers out there, it's almost as if you feel like, oh, well, I can mimic what some of my mentors or teachers or the people that I've been following do. For example, starting my own YouTube channel, or doing tarot readings, or doing this or doing that, or doing Reiki healing. And what I would say is really look inside of yourself before you start doing any of this or all of this. Look inside of yourself and say, what is my unique talent in light work? It might not be any of that stuff. It might not be starting a YouTube channel, doing tarot readings, doing Reiki healings. It may not be any of that. It could be something as simple as, I have a client who said to me that he might start working as a foster parent for rescue dogs. So it could be that. That could be your way to light work. For example, my sister, for example, had searched a long time, not knowing which avenue she was going to take for her light work. And when she kept coming upon Akashic record readings and Akashic records, she finally came to the conclusion that that was one area of expertise that she wanted to focus on for her light work. It doesn't mean that you have to mimic other people just because you feel like, oh, I'm a twin flame. I see a lot of twin flames doing A, B, C, or D, so then I have to do A, B, C, or D. That may not be for you. We in the light work world need people of many gifts and talents, not just one specific gift or talent. We need a multitude of talents to reach a multitude of people and to reach a multitude of services that are needed to spread the light. And it could be so many hundreds of thousands of things. And so pave your own way, carve your own path, all the while setting boundaries. But I love this because it says, patience is its own reward. Patience is its own reward. And at the bottom, there is a Bible quote. In this one, it says, you crown the year with a bountiful harvest. Even the hard pathways overflow with abundance. And that's Psalm 65, verse 11. I love that. You crown the year with a bountiful harvest. Even the hard pathways overflow with abundance. I love it because all of us have just come out of a very, 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 very difficult year. All of us have. And it can seem like the pathway is hard. And it's funny because all throughout this reading, we're talking about pathways. Well, it's interesting. I like this because what is a pathway? A pathway has boundaries, right? A pathway has a set of boundaries, because if you don't have boundaries on either side of the pathway, it's not a pathway. It's like an open field. So you need the boundaries for your pathway to move forward. And as a light worker, you're being asked to carve your own path. Well, when you're carving your own path, it can be the hard pathway. It's never easy. As Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say, it's never crowded along the extra mile. Never crowded along the extra mile. So you are paving your own way to your light work. You're paving your own way to your destiny. You are trailblazing and finding the pathways that have not yet been discovered. And that takes time and patience. I'll tell you that. So many people who see, for example, I'm just going to give this example because this is what I do, but so many people see others on YouTube doing what I do as an example, or perhaps a slight variation of that, of what others do on YouTube. And they might think like, oh yeah, that's totally the way. It's so easy. It's great. You just make a few videos a week and poof, like magic. And I and so many others on YouTube will tell you that that's not the way it generally goes. It takes consistency, time, dedication, effort, and a message that attracts others that need the message. So even though you can see success in other people and it looks easy, you don't see the hundreds of hours of toil and hard work and paving the way that goes on behind the scenes. You don't see that. And if you don't believe me, just know that this is probably my 550th video on YouTube. And if you look back to the videos that I produced back in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, they did not get very many views. So it's not something that happens overnight. Any kind of success in anything that you do, especially if you are new to, I want to hone the skill of my own gifts and talents when it comes to my own light work, it takes patience. It takes consistency, self-discipline, and patience to reap the benefits, to reap the rewards of all the hard work that you have put in behind the scenes. So do not think that if something that you're really passionate about in your light work does not work for you, you don't see the bountiful harvest within the first few weeks, the first few months, or even the first few years, it does not mean that you are not meant to do this work. What it does mean, though, is that you are trailblazing. You're creating your own path and your own originality, and creating your own path takes time. It takes effort. It takes dedication and consistency. Do you see where I'm going with this? Consistency is key in anything. I really believe that it's time for many of you out there as light workers to start spreading your light through your own proper trail, through your own proper special, unique gifts and talents, whatever they are. Discover them, work with them, see how you can contribute and give light into the world. And I think it's going to be amazing for you once you realize that when you find your unique pathway, you find that it becomes effortless. Even though it's hard work, it still becomes effortless because the pathway in and of itself is the reward. And you'll realize that as you start doing more of your light work. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to this channel below. Click on the bell, scroll to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other divine feminines and light workers. And thank you so much for supporting this YouTube channel. You can buy a book or 2 or 3. You can also pledge your support on Patreon. www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. And I will see you in the next video.